Hi, welcome to the Thousand Icons video series. My name is Karo Ezuzu. In today's video, we're going to look at one of the new functions of Microsoft Excel, which is called the VSTACK function. Now, this function actually combines similar reports vertically. Let's see how this function works in our illustration. Now, I have a report here, probably a report of staff performance. I have Lagos region here. This is the staff and their performance in the various account type, savings account, current account, and fixed deposit. I also have another region here, Enugu, and I have a third region, Abuja. Now, the job of this officer is to, I've got to take off this one. The job of this account officer is to combine these reports. So what we're going to do is, the usual thing is for users to copy and then paste under each of these ones to combine their report. But with VSTACK, that's already history. So we're going to copy this heading. Let me take this heading here and then copy into the consolidated one I'm going to call group. So this is the heading. And here I want to put serial numbers so I could get the number of staff in the various regions. I come here as a serial number. Now I want this serial number to be dynamic. So rather than number 1 or 2, I'm going to put a function there that actually numbers only if there is data in this place. So I can use the count A function. If I say if count A, we already know what the count A function does. It counts the number of cells in a range that are not empty. So if I say if count A of this particular region probably is equal to 0, that means there is no value there. It should give me a space. Otherwise, let it give that place number 1. So I hit my enter and that's okay. So here it's giving me space because there's no value. If I type a region, type any region there, that should give me 1. Cool. So now when I get to this place, I want to say that if there's value here, then it should add 1 to the previous one. So if I have a value here, 1, and I'm saying if there's another value here, that means this place should be 2. So I'm going to say equal to if count A for this particular value is equal to 1, that means if there's a value there, it should add 1, this one, plus another 1. Now, otherwise, value if false, it should just give me a space, and then this does it. So I can copy this one down to any length. Let me just make it very lengthy, just in case we have that. So I can do this. Fine. So I already have value. If I get a value here, that gives me 2. And if I have a value here, that gives me 3. Now, if I take off this value, that gives me 1, and I take off this value. So I already created a dynamic numbering system on the serial number. Now, the next thing, I'm going to pick all these values here in the various regions and combine them using the VSTACK. So I place my cursor here and I'm going to say equal to VSTACK. It's asking me for array, where are the various arrays, which is the report. Now the first report is here. Since I already have the headings, I don't need the headings again. I highlight the whole of this. Now this is my array 1. I take a comma. It's asking for array 2. I move straight to Enugu. Highlight the whole of this, that's my array 2, and then I move to Abuja. I highlight this, I highlight the whole of this, and that's all. I have only 3 regions. I just hit my enter key and this is my report. Now you can see I have Lagos region, Enugu region down to number 40, which is there are 40 staff right now in the 3 regions doing the marketing job. Now if I have cost to change any of these, let's look at this name, Okorie. If this is changed, okay, let me look at the last name, John Williams, and I change that to Tunde Alaro. Let me change this. Now, if I go back to this report, this has automatically changed to Tunde because this report is late. So this had to use the VSTACK. But beyond this, let's try something. What if I add a value here, assuming this report is dynamic and I need to update it? and I have another name here. Remember, the last name we have here is Tunde Alaro, which is the last name under Lagos also, Tunde Alaro. If I have to add another name, let's have a name like Emmanuel Akpan, and I have figures here 34, 76, and probably 81. Now, if I move back to this report, that name is not captured. So it becomes a problem when I'm using this report to monitor performances on this one. If this is updated, this report is not updated. But if this is edited, any of this amount is edited, this report will be edited. So if the purpose of this report is actually to monitor additions here and editing, I will first of all do this as a table. So I'm going to delete the whole of this one. I'm going to delete the whole of this one. And first, take all this report to table. Ctrl T, we now have to create a table, and I hit my enter key. So I already have it as a table. If you like, you can actually name this table Lagos. I can come here and say Lagos. So I've just named that table, that's my problem. If I don't name it, it's still okay. I come here and I name this table. I can call this Enugu. Then I go to the last one and I can name this table, what is it now, Abuja. Fine. So these are my three tables. So my report is going to make reference to those tables. I come here and say equal to VSTACK. So that's wrong spelling. VSTACK. Okay. So I move straight to Lagos and I'm going to take this. Now you can see it's taking VSTACK Lagos. So I go to Enugu and I take that table, which is Enugu. And I take my comma, I go straight to the last table, which is Abuja. So my functional is equal to VSTACK bracket open. I take the three regions which I've actually named, and I hit my enter key. Now, this is my report. So let's make an addition. Remember, this is the last one we have for Lagos, which is Tunde. Now I come here and I need to add another candidate. This is Lagos, and let me add the candidate. Is that the last candidate there? I don't think so. I think last candidate is okay. Last candidate is Akman. So let me take this off, not Tunde. This is the last candidate. So let me just brush this one. Okay, this is the last candidate here, Emmanuel Akman. That's it. So I'm adding another candidate. This time let me add Yusuf. Let me add Yusuf Al-Haji. Fine. This is the candidate, and I'm going to put here 56, 87, and 39. Fine. I've just added another candidate to this. Now let's look at our group work. Automatically it's added here. This is Yusuf Al-Haji. So if there's an update to this one, the same thing, I'm adding another candidate there. Let me take Emeka John. Is that spelling correct? No. Emeka John, 65, 43, and 94. So if I move to Enugu, the last name I'm going to have will be this new addition. So let's move here. Enugu. The last name is Emeka John. So if you intend to make this very dynamic, to pick up this in the reports you're doing, you have to enter them as data table first before you use your VSTACK report. Very powerful function, but right now this function is only available to Office 365 subscribers. Thank you very much for listening. In other videos, we're going to see much more of what Excel can do. Bye-bye.